I really hate this picture of you under your page, Bruno.
What? What?
You look 12.
He looks 12 right now. What are you talking about?
Dude.
Oh no, this is like so much worse. I can do this.
What's so much worse is when he tries to grow facial hair.
Dude, it's
No.
disgusting.
Look.
Oh, here we
Oh,
go.
look at that. That's
Look
fun.
at this.
Yeah, dude, that was
That's what.
my less than good phase. Ugh. I hope I don't fuck this up. Oh, there we go. Close. All right. I gotta stop moving stuff. I'm not gonna play any music. All right, we're good.
Yeah.
Yep, I'll cut an intro and after. But
There you go.
what I do want to address is who this man sitting underneath us is. His name is Matthew. I'm so upset.
About that I'm here.
Yeah.
No,
This guy's here, and I am pissed about it.
no, I know Matt's in a little bit of a time crunch, and I have to.
17 kids that have to go to bed, so.
And shit, I don't even know what to do. All right. Anyway, moving on. So we'll start again.
Okay.
What I want to address is the kid underneath me. His name's Matt. He is the founder of Triumph Printing. I work with him. He's a good dude. He is our new official merch sponsor. So now we have merch, which I will be uploading a whole bunch of stuff and photos so you guys can try to get some. So without further ado, Matt, welcome to the show, kid.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys.
We're actually really honored to have you. So what I wanted to do was the first thing I'm going to have you do is obviously introduce yourself other than Matt. You founded Triumph Printing.
Yep.
Why don't you start taking us through like your introduction to printing?
Well, I think if anything, it's more. I'd say I started with design in general. When I was like 12 or 13 years old, I was really into making electronic music on the computer using a program called Acid Music. And me and my brother would make like techno beats and rap beats and do nothing with them, but just for an excuse to like make music, you know?
Yeah.
And we would always try to like create designs to put on the cover of our CDs. Like you'd print out those little labels on the computer and stick it on there. And then you put your name on it, or you come up like it's so generic, but like my name was Fat Matt with a PH, you know what I mean? It was like,
Dude, that's awesome.
And then of course, because we had beats, we started giving beats to some kids in school that rapped, and then we started Fat Records. You know what I mean? So like it just like spun out of control way too quickly, and like, but through that I was like designing like shirts and printing out those iron-on transfers you do like on a regular inkjet computer, and I started making shirts that way. And then it probably was like another 5 or 6 years. I got a job at this place called WearGuard. It was on the South Shore of Massachusetts in Rockland, Massachusetts. And WearGuard actually ended up getting bought by Aramark, who owns like Fenway Park, and they own a lot of stadiums, a lot of hospitals and stuff. So we did like major accounts like Pepsi, Coca-Cola, Hardee's Burgers. Like we would print like 150,000 T-shirts for like Hardee's and places like that, and Pepsi and all that type of stuff. So when I started at WearGuard, I started in the back just moving T-shirts around, but I knew I wanted to learn how to screen print, and actually started screen printing on an automatic press, which is like kind of a computer-based, you know, almost, you know, in sequence does its own thing by itself, as opposed to what I do now, which is more of a manual printing, you know, printing with your hands. And
Yep.
So I started there in like, I think it was 2002, 2003. And so I just like a sponge was like absorbing everything, like learning everything from, you know, how to make a screen to how to print a shirt to, you know, understanding like the whole process from beginning to end, every fundamental and every basic in between, you know what I mean? And so then one day this dude got this order for this liquor store that was like in the Midwest. It was called Triumph Liquors. And it was like the old Letterman shirt where it said like property of, but instead it just said Triumph. and then it had 3 X's in the middle for, you know, like old timey liquor.
Yep.
And because I'm straight edge, I was like, oh, dude, 3 X's. Can you tape off the liquor part? Because I want that shirt. I don't want it to be a straight edge shirt. And so he was like, yeah, man. So, and that's the way it was over there all the time. Like anytime you wanted a shirt, you just asked the guy to print one. So when the job was done, he put tape over the liquors on the screen and he printed it through and it said Triumph XXX. So then I started telling everybody, yeah, I'm starting this clothing line, man. It's called Triumph. It's a fucking straight edge line and all this. And everyone's like, all right, whatever, dude. And then it just like spun out of control. I started like writing Triumph in different ways. I started using Letterman fonts. I started doing all these things. And eventually I realized that like starting your own thing, and you guys probably know this from any venture you've tried to start on your own, that sometimes doing things for yourself, though is fun, is not very lucrative.
Yeah.
So I was like, how can I maintain this whole like trying to create a brand and print shirts thing? You know, how can I supplement that? And so I started like going up to friends and like, hey, do your band need shirts? And they'd be like, yeah, dude, we need shirts. And so I'd print them for like dirt cheap. And the money I'd take from that, I would put into Triumph and start making Triumph shirts. And it kind of became a cycle like that. So it kind of was just like feeding itself. And then eventually it just got to the point where I had no time to do Triumph stuff because I was printing all these bands. I was printing this lawnmower shop, the appliance store. You know, eventually later on it turned into Grillo's Pickles, which is a Boston-based pickle company that's now national. You know what I mean? Then I started when I was at the same time I was working for. Well, eventually Weirgard ended up closing. They moved to Reno, Nevada, so everybody was pretty much out of a job. So I was hustling as hard as I could. That's one of the reasons why business picked up. And then I started working for Whole Foods, and the side gig was always Triumph. And so when I was at Whole Foods, I was like, hey, do you guys need shirts? And they were like, yeah, do you know a guy that prints shirts? I'm like, yeah, I know a guy. So, and it just spun out of control. And then before I knew it, because I was making relationships at all these different Whole Foods, I started printing for all these different Whole Foods on top of that. And, you know, eventually just picking up more and more different brands. And I mean, now I've printed for heroes, you know what I mean? I've printed for people that like I really look up to. I've printed for brands that I care about, even to today. Like there are coffee companies like Essex Coffee Roasters that I print for. You know what I mean? I'm printing for Sully's Teas, a good friend of mine who owns Sully's Teas. They have their own print shop, but in a time of need, you know what I mean? Like it was cool to have like another print shop reach out and need my help during the pandemic. They couldn't have any workers there, and because I have my own workshop at home, it was easy for me to kind of pick up where they left off to help them through that struggle, you know what I mean? And it's just cool to get opportunity like that you never think that you could ever kind of be a part of, and it just because you're a little guy, sometimes you just feel like it's just me in the basement, you know what I mean? But then sometimes stuff comes along like that that's actually pretty cool. So
dude, I actually didn't know basically any of that. So being able, obviously I've known you now for what, 7-8 years now.
Yeah, something like that.
So the fact that that's where it all started, and like that's insane to think that it started off as like, oh hey, I just want this, and then like
Right.
it's turned into a legitimate brand that you're not only proud of, but that you're doing like ridiculously good work with.
I appreciate that. I mean, it's like, you know, I say that we started in 2005. That's when that wasn't when the first shirt was printed, but that was like when I finally started like getting momentum where I was getting like one order a week, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now even, you know, working a full-time job and then coming home and do this, I probably bring in at least 6 or 7 jobs a week. You know what I mean? With, you know, these are fairly sized orders too. You know what I mean? Back in the day, I would take anything. If you wanted 3 t-shirts printed, I'd take it. You know what I mean? But now it's we're so busy that I need to take the minimum is 24 because it's like, if it's not worth my time, because somebody else is going to walk in the back door and say, I need 200 shirts tomorrow. You know what I mean? And so if I don't have enough screens to kind of move on to that next thing, you know what I mean? That's one of the reasons why, you know, we have like minimums, stuff like that. A lot of print shops are like that too, but especially when you're as small as me, you know what I mean? Every dollar counts, but it also needs to be lucrative on the back end too, you know?
Yeah, so that I'm glad you actually touched on that, because I was going to bring me into like the next part of it, which was like all of the services that you provide.
Yeah.
And what, I don't want to like get too far into it, but like kind of the the money side of it obviously is always a sensitive thing with everybody, but like, so you offer a ton of different stuff that you can do there at a really, from what I've seen at least, because I've tried to get merch made before, it's a ridiculously good price for what the quality is.
Well, and so number one, quality is number one. So why even do anything in life if you're not going to do the best that you can do? So that's always been my focus from Jump Street. You know what I mean? And then furthermore, you know, you go online and you go to like these like custom inks and crap like that. A lot of it is like direct to garment printing, which is a literal computer inkjet spitting out ink onto a shirt, and it looks stellar. And then you wash it once and it looks like dog shit.
Yeah.
So, and they charge you like, you're like, oh, I'm having a family reunion, I want 12 shirts. They're like, yeah, dude, no worries. It's cool. It's $200 for 12 fucking shirts. You know what I mean? It's like, the prices are insane when obviously online. But I also think that even like locally, there are some guys that like are just greedy.
Yeah.
You get to a point where like my prices are the same today as they were in 2005. You know, the reality of the situation is that, like, why do I need to increase my price if the cost of goods haven't increased? If the cost of the blank t-shirts hasn't increased, you know what I mean? And because I'm with 16 years of experience, I've just gotten better at what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I figured out ways to, like, do it right and do it with high quality that, like, I'm not screwing myself on the back end, you know, wasting materials and all that type of stuff. So, I don't know. I just think it's important to be, especially as a local business and a small business, I think that if you try to be as fair as possible, not only like with your prices, but like even like, you know, people ask for favors and stuff like that. And you do have to do some of those favors sometimes. And you do have to do things that don't make money, because eventually the things come back around. And whether it's in a money sense or whether it's in a just like a moral sense, you know what I mean? I'm big on that too. Like even with you, like when you're like, hey dude, like, I want to get some shirts for my podcast. I'm like, okay, I'm going to be your sponsor. And you're like, okay, so how much are the shirts? I'm like, nah, dude, they're free. And you're like, wait, no, I got to give you money. Like, can I just buy the blanks or whatever? And I'm like, nah, dude, that's not how sponsorships work. And I think that transparency, especially like in an industry where like I could just literally take your money, or even on the flip side, you know what I mean? You guys, is what you're doing, can just take people's money and put out crap product. You can't feel good about that at the end of the day. So
No.
that's why for me, it's like fair pricing, even graphic design. Like I'll tell you guys the same thing I tell everybody else. If you order a minimum of 24 t-shirts, we do your graphic design, if you don't have a design, for a flat $50 rate. And that's extremely cheap in comparison to any designer or any other screen print company. You know what I mean?
Dude, I can tell you, just to throw it out there, I have the brand that I built, The Rush, that I've turned into a bunch of different stuff. And when I first got my logos made, when I left the post office and started doing all this,
right,
I contacted a friend who was in graphic design, and he was like, yeah, I'll cut you a decent deal. And I was like, all right, well, how much is it? He made one logo that he just rendered a bunch of different colors, and then made a small logo, just like a TR.
Sure.
And it was $250.
Right, it's insane. You know what I mean? And it probably took him maybe, let's say it even took him an hour. You just paid him $250 an hour to design something that really, you know, even though it's a brand and in theory you're going to make money off of it, to me, it's kind of unfair to you. You know what I mean? Because if tomorrow whatever you're doing doesn't work out, which, like, not that anybody's going to wish that for you, but it's like, now you just spent all that money for what? You know what I mean? And even though, yeah, you're supporting a local artist, he just did that to 10 other guys.
Exactly.
After he talked to you.
And I know he was doing a lot more work than he would lead on to believe, because he built his own company. Exactly. But dude, just the fact that, like, especially for like streamers, Blurry can attest to this, it's very hard to make it as a streamer where you're actually like considered like making it, where you're making enough money to actually do that stuff. Like I would have to stream almost 3 months probably in order to just pay for that.
That's insane.
And that's,
yeah, you were talking about hobbies that become lucrative. I was like, man, that's like streaming, except like it took me like a good year to even start making money on it.
Right. Awful.
So with that said, like, just a quick breakdown of the services that you do offer. So you said graphic design for a flat 50. So you do shirts, t-shirts, long sleeve sweatshirts. What else? What am I missing?
Anything that can literally lay flat. We print pizza boxes. I print boxes for other companies. We print bags. I do hats, trucker hats with like the foam front. I can get those to lay flat, so we print those. Literally anything flat. We can print it. I mean, I've printed skateboards before. I've printed. You take a screen and you hold it up on a glass window on a storefront. I've done that before.
I saw pictures of you doing that. You did that recently, right?
For the window.
Yeah, or something got brought back up where it was like a memory or something where you did something on a window, right?
I think so, on Facebook maybe.
Yeah, it was for like I want to say it was a tattoo company, but I could be wrong.
I think it was, in Providence, but they're closed now. But yeah.
Yeah, it was them. It was in Providence.
Yeah.
Because that came out phenomenal from the pictures that you popped up and showed. It looked fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, anything, like I said, if it can lay flat, we can print it. We offer numbers. So when we do numbers, we do heat transfers. So sports teams and stuff like that too. So it's not just limited to, brands or companies. We do design work for local sports teams. Like I do a lot with Dorchester sports leagues. Even though we're based out of Lowell, you know what I mean? A connection through my brother helped me out with that one, you know what I mean? Which is another big part of the business. Is a lot of it's just like, word of mouth too,
Yeah.
But then we do branding as well. If you're stumped on, graphic design is one thing. If I make a design for a shirt, that's that $50 fee. If I, make a brand that's gonna, change your life, I'm gonna sit down and put time into it. But even then, we're talking graphic design fees start at $100. You know what I mean? And the reality is, if we knock it out in the first shot, that's all you're going to pay for a brand that you're going to go along with forever. And I give you all different files in order to, utilize for, web design or even, Instagram and your Facebook and stuff like that. And then I usually, depending on what state you live in, I usually in the email give you directions on how to, register your stuff and, where you're going to end up paying, certain fees in order to get trademarks and all that type of thing. So I don't just want to be like, here's your logo, good luck with everything. If I can kind of push you in the right direction to try to get you where you need to be, you're only going to come back to me when you need more, and you're only going to come back to me when you need t-shirts maybe. You know what I mean? I don't just like to kind of just be two-dimensional. I'd rather be somebody who's like a go-to guy. There are times where like people ask me for stuff who I've done a lot of work with in the past, and I won't even charge them anything because it's, sometimes it's like an edit or something.
Yeah.
I work with a company that like I did a whole business card design with, and they're like, hey dude, like we want to start using QR codes. Can you throw them on the designs you did? I'm like, yeah. They're like, how much? I'm like, yeah, dude, don't worry about it. Because again, like if I'm chasing that dollar every single day, it's just going to become real messy. You know what I mean?
Yep. No, I definitely get that, dude. Obviously, like I talk to you quite often at this point, and I never really ask like, dude, like what else? I've always just assumed like, oh, he prints our t-shirts for work too. Like,
right.
I never realized that like you did that much extra. Obviously, I've kind of known now for at least like the last like month or so, but like the fact that you do literally everything, and then not only that, you're a resource that someone can come back and fall back on to use to try to help themselves grow as well, is incredible, especially for, I would say for being a small business, but like the availability that you have to help is beyond reproach and is fantastic. I didn't realize that you did all that either.
I mean, it sounds cliche, but I've always believed in paying it forward. So I find that every time when I kind of hit that worry button for myself, even when it comes to the business or anything in life, I sometimes feel like there's always a light at the end of the tunnel because of that positive energy that I'm putting out there sometimes.
I do have some people asking stuff on the Twitch chat, like where they can find you. So like, do you actually have like a physical website?
So we don't have a physical website, and the reason why we don't is because I used to, and I found that I get more traffic using social media or even doing things like this podcast or other podcasts I sponsor. Usually that word of mouth has been more I get more return on that.
Yeah.
I find that I was wasting, it doesn't sound like a lot, but paying $300 a year to have a website that like literally people would say, "Oh, I checked out your website," but they would tell me that on Instagram. So
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
can you use
Yeah.
the website? And they're like, "No, well, I'm talking to you now. Why would I use the website?" I'm like, okay.
No, that
So-
makes a ton of sense though. So
Right.
people can find you, and I will before you say anything, I'm going to have all of this linked in the description for the podcast. So anything you guys want, you can just reach out, talk to them. But they can find you on.
You can find me on Instagram at Triumph Printing Co. One word. You can find me on Facebook under Triumph Printing Co. And then if you have any questions, you can email me direct. It's just triumphprintingco@gmail.com.
Dude, perfect. I'm so glad everything's streamlined. It's not like, hey, you can reach me on Triumph Printing Co. on Facebook, and then Co-Printing Triumph on Facebook, where you're able to like streamline everything.
And then you can email me at mattlikes2smokemeat@gmail.com.
I feel personally attacked with that statement because I
No,
couldn't get
dude.
my Twitter handle. I couldn't get my Twitter handle.
Yeah. So Matt, you don't really have to deal with this too much because everything's like streamlined for you. But like, especially like I'll say in our world as streamers, like it's so hard in order to get everything streamlined
Right.
Yeah.
to where everything's the same. And especially him, Mr. Flounder with a 3 instead of an E.
Blurry Flounder on my Twitter handle, and the last E is a 3. That was how I got it. I was like, and I got it. I was like, oh god, thank God. Like this wasn't taken.
Even trying to get the Rush podcast on Twitter was impossible. We had to like add stuff to it, and it's just like it's so hard for me to push like the rushpodcast.com/forward. Like it's a mess, dude. But I don't know. Anything else you want to share?
I think it kind of covers it. I just, if anybody needs anything, let me know. Like I said, Chris has a contact, stuff like that. I'm pretty approachable. I think when we talk about reviews and customer service, a lot of people have given me a lot of positive feedback on my response time. We have a quick turnaround time. Believe it or not, it's just me that runs everything. I do all the graphic design, I do all the screen printing. So I'm as small business as you can get, but I'm not small business to the point where like you're wondering where your shirts are. I always try to, I put family first, and then it goes Triumph, and then it goes, the shitty full-time job.
I will also have your Discord username linked in it. I forget the numbers right now, but I wanted to make sure that so people can reach him on all those different platforms, including reaching him on Discord, because we're going to get him set up on Discord because I think it'll be good, like we talked about the other night, for being able to go over live edits. So it's not everything won't be done through all these messages and stuff like that, where it's, hey, I'm going to message you this. I want to see what it looks like. And then you have to send it back. And then you have to do this where you can just do it all at once and show. So I think that'll be.
On top of that, you could you kind of tap into the whole streamer world of things with people wanting to rebrand. You can show them what you want to, what you're thinking, what they're kind of thinking. You can bounce it back and forth, be like a little like video conference.
Yeah, that's smart. I mean, I was telling Chris, it's like there's sometimes where you go back and forth with somebody 12 times, and I take a file and send it from the computer to my phone, airdrop it, and then I'll text it to you, and then you go, oh, can you change the pink to blue? And then I change the pink to blue, and they go, can you change it back to pink? And you're doing that all night long, and then before I know it, last night he's like, hey, download Discord. I was like, sure. And I was like, hold on, I got to delete 100 photos first. Like,
you're looking at like 3 days of messages turned into like half an hour of work if you can kind of do it live.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then
I think it's smarter to do it that way.
And then Blur, I also talked to him about actually live streaming on Twitch so that he can create his content also off of the saved videos.
Yeah.
Smart. I like it.
Shit, I'm gonna send him my logo and be like, have your way with this.
Yeah, man, let's beef it up. You're sponsored now, dude. So
That's what I hear. That's what I hear.
And like I said, your shirt is getting in the mail tomorrow. I just haven't, dude. With
God, I want to wear it. What the fuck?
With life, with the way life's been, it's been hard.
Speaking of sponsors, I had one of our wonderful drinks this morning because I ran out of coffee.
I was gonna say, Matt, you've tried the Rays and you enjoyed it, correct?
I think it's actually underrated. I think that for a sugar-free drink, me having a scare with diabetes 2 years ago, I'm out of the red zone, if you will. But I find myself, having a new lifestyle and having an energy drink that isn't filled with a bunch of, gross artificial colors and all that type of stuff.
Bullshit. Yeah.
But also is something that like tastes good too. It's up there, you know what I mean? And when Chris showed me the what's the multicolored can one called?
The South Beach that just came. The South Beach.
The one that tastes like a vacation in a can. Yeah, that one. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's something, especially doing what we do, in the streets 8 hours a day, or even when I come home here, you know what I mean? To have a clean product that tastes good, it's outstanding. I was when he showed it to me, I was like, what is this crap? But I was like, oh man, this is really good.
Yeah.
And then literally like 2 days later, he was like, if you order some, let me know because I'll get a case. And then he's like,
shocked.
and then from now on, he's like, I'll just anytime you order, just give me 2 cases. And I'm like, okay.
There you go. That's
yeah.
it.
When I got the care package and they sent it to me, I tried one like 2-3 days later. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. This changes the game.
It's much better than
energy drinks taste like you like crushed up a Smartie and shoved it in a can. Right. And then like this one, I was like, oh, that's flavor.
Right. Or it tastes like literally a liquid B vitamin to the point where like your stomach hurts.
Yeah. Well, dude, I know. I kept you a little bit longer than originally planned, but dude, I can't thank you enough for coming on and everything you've done for us already, and I'm sure that you're going to continue to do because I'm thinking this is going to be a good partnership here.
Yeah, man, I'm down. Let's do it.
All right, everyone, that's Matt. Like I said, we're going to have everything linked. Please go look him up and get some stuff from him.
Send him all of your logos. He'll do them.
Yes.
And he'll make them badass.
Yeah, let's make things pretty again, okay?
As long as they're bearded.
There you
right,
go.
Chris?
And that's the podcast, folks. I hope everyone has a great rest of the night. No, Matt, we love you, buddy, and thanks for coming on.
All right, guys, be good. Thanks.
Later,
everybody.
There we go.
Sick, dude. So what'd you think of him? Good kid, right?
I like him. Yeah, he's a great guy.
Great dude.
Yeah. That's the story itself of how the company was made was really, really interesting. I was like, I'm gonna talk, but like, I mean, he's laying it all out there for us. So like, there's no need. I'm just gonna let him just sit back and let it rock.
Dude, right? I had like a list of questions, and it's funny because I sent him like what I wanted to touch on, and he literally started there, and he was just like, I'm just gonna keep going, and he just hammered them all.
At the beginning of the VOD, I'm looking down at my phone. I'm like, okay, well, he did that one.
Yep.
All right, he did that one too. I was like, okay, I'm just gonna let him talk.
I was looking for like a chance where I could like jump in and be like, yeah, so let's talk about that. And he was just like, no, man, this I'm the captain now. And I was just like, okay.
I'm about it. Every now and then somebody needs to commandeer the podcast and just like roll with it.
What I don't have is like the normal blurry doesn't know. I genuinely just don't have it because I didn't. Like I said, he was originally supposed to be off at like 7:15 and we're already at 7:30.
Yeah, no, we went an extra 15 minutes. That's it was good though. It was all good like conversation. It wasn't like, I don't know. It was good. It was just good. I'm just gonna leave it at that. It's good to have a guest that like you could just let him roll with it, you know?
Right. I'm gonna see if I can do this.
What are you doing? What are you trying to do?
Mm-hmm. Oh boy, that's really fucking loud. So I'm trying to get this on the screen. I think I have to go to... Nope. I'm going to add this display capture of... I think it's 3. I have to turn this down, and I believe I have to turn down the volume on this too.
What are you doing?
You're watching on Twitch, right?
I'm watching on both.
All right, so this is the video that we made for him. where it kind of just shows him going through it.
Oh, okay.
And hopefully it's not too loud because it's kind of
Yeah.
deafening.
I don't have to volume it up.
So obviously this he goes through everything. It's a layer system. So like he just made that shirt in what, like 4 swipes?
I'm behind, so I'm still watching it. But yeah, oh my god, that's wild. Just a lot happening there. Shirts are badass too.
Dude, he does really top tier quality.
Yeah, no, like even
This
like,
is one of the ones that I like the most. It'll be the last one you see.
Uh-huh.
I think it's one of the coolest things because it's so small and like so perfectly put together.
Yeah. Even like so as soon as you kind of talked about the sponsorship with me and all that, I went and followed him on Instagram and I started looking at all of his work and all that. It's very impressive. Very impressive.
Dude,
And I even his logo's badass too.
dude,
I love
his is
logo.
so good. Everything,
Yeah.
literally everything he's touched is just fantastic.
Yeah.
I know I say
yeah.
fantastic a lot, but it I don't know how else to describe it. It's like I said, I sent him my old logo and I was trying to like edit it so that it said like the Rush podcast, and like I didn't like how it was gonna come out, so I messaged him in something else, and then I kind of put together a different logo, which is the one we currently have now.
Yeah. The shirts that you sent me too they were amazing. All
Oh,
that
yeah,
that you
so-
showed me. They were
So
amazing.
you can see him now live.
Yeah. I
Like,
love that.
It's just a nice clean logo on it,
Mhm.
and it not only so he also I don't think he really touched on was he has 2 different types of shirts that he can use too. He has like the everyday use one, which is what I got, and then he has like
Mhm.
premium ones that are just
Right.
like the softest shirts I've ever put on. Like I have his shirts for his company and I will
Yeah.
wear them to work. That's how comfortable they are. I'm just out there in like the streets of like the hood repping his brand. That's how much that's how much I rock with it.
Yeah. No, that's sick. That's yeah. And all the stuff he can do with it. He's like, yeah, anything you can lay flat. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Like I've
Think
seen
about that.
I've seen him do some hats and stuff like that, and on like I didn't know he did stuff like pizza boxes and bags.
Yeah.
Like I never knew about all of that, but what I find, I mentioned it to him while he was on. What I find more impressive is that you're not just like a client and then you're done.
Right.
It's
right.
like I said, he's a resource that they can continue to come back to.
Yeah, and the thing that where he was talking about how he's like, yeah, we'll do logos, and then depending on where you live, I'll send you all the instructions on how to register it and do all that. I'm like, he's a one-stop shop for a rebrand.
I
That
was
is-
genuinely trying to work in the phrase "you're a one-stop shop," but didn't have a chance to do it because he was just hammering everything home.
I know. That's why I just sat back. I was like, yeah, do your thing, dude. Like, you are literally taking this over, and
Right.
just like perfect. But yeah,
Hey.
no, literally, you can. That's a huge thing for streamers, YouTubers, anything. He could rebrand you, register your brand so people can't use it if you just so happen to get to that level of streaming or YouTube where people can't use your logo, do all that. Like, you can be licensed through it, and he's gonna help you do that because he knows how to do it.
Yeah, it's incredible that like I didn't know about all this sooner. I would have gone through him. I would never. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love my original logos, but I never would have paid $250 for them if I would have known that. I could have been like, "Hey, bud, so here's my idea," and it would have been like $100. And I would have owned it forever.
Yeah, I would have gladly paid him to do my logo. I went to like fucking Fiverr or something and had some
Mm-hmm.
some random dude when I could have had him do it, and he's like a good dude, and I would much rather work with him because working with the guy that I work with was a pain in the ass.
Dude, Fiverr's tough, especially because everything's done through like the chains.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's why
Mhm.
when he set this up last night, and I was like, dude, just download Discord, and I can tell you now that like you'll probably use it more often than you won't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially
absolutely.
like we came up with the idea, it just like hit me in the middle of it. I was like, dude, why don't you just do like live consulting?
Mhm.
And you can just consult, share your screen, do your stuff right there, and show them like what you're doing.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
it'll cut down, like you said, hours and hours of emails to just
Hours, if not days.
to just like an hour's worth of time.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. That just streamlines everything, and like he's just like, all right, let's just say like 8 p.m. Like I'll call you on Discord. We'll go through it. We can make any changes and go from there. Like that's so freaking easy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah.
So now we have to just get people to start going there, and I'm like I said, I'm gonna get once I get you the shirt,
Mm-hmm.
you have one task.
Okay.
It's to take a dope photo of you wearing that shirt.
Yes, I have dope photos already of Rays that I haven't posted yet. I did work on that, and now I just have to do these. So like I'm gonna have multiple posts that I can
Oh,
do.
dude, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yep.
Which
Use that
I
handy dandy fancy camera I got, and we got some good stuff.
oh, dude,
So
that's awesome. Because I haven't even
yeah.
told you like with what we've done with Rays, like
Mm-hmm.
we're actually considered, according to them, an asset based on the fact that we've been able to generate business for them.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
like we're
I
actually
still have
close
to
to getting a
post. I
pay.
haven't even.
Like we have a payout.
Oh, nice. I
So
haven't
like
even
we actually
posted yet.
have stuff.
Rays, send me more Rays. I'm almost out.
um. Yeah, we can talk about that. We can get you some more Rays for sure.
I also emailed another company, not for energy drinks, so I wasn't gonna step on that, but I emailed another company. I'm just waiting to see if they respond. I was like, hey, I'm just on a podcast. It'd be really great if you watched it and like send us some shit.
Dude, that'd be sick.
Yeah, I was like, why not? Like, why not? You
I'm
know?
also gonna try to contact because we are part of me now.
Right.
Sponsored by Nerd or Die.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna reach out to Nerd or Die and talk to them about getting a Rush overlay made
That would be cool.
for the podcast, and that'll be something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Dude,
I've definitely used Nerd or Die before. Um, they have a lot of good stuff. That'd be a really good one to have because of streamers watch us. People on
yeah,
Twitch watch us. I mean, this isn't
exactly.
just the Spotify, YouTube people. This is like Twitch. We're right here. I mean, we're live right now on Twitch.
And
That'd be huge for them.
the last thing I'll say about Nerd or Die, obviously, guys, and girls, if you are a streamer and you're new to it or you're running low budget, check out nerdordie.com. They have free overlays, free alerts, free widgets, stuff that you can readily use right away. They also have full stream packages that range like from $50, and you can get parts of those stream packages for cheaper. So say you can't spend the $50 on the full stream package, you can get all of the overlays for like $20. So it'll cut your cost in half, where you won't get like obviously the alerts and stuff with it and all like that, but each package will be individually. So it'll definitely something to look into if you're trying to, I guess we'll say, ball on a budget.
That's what every streamer's trying to do. You kidding me?
Exactly. That's why I was like, dude, like I was just mentioning, Nerd or Die has all the free stuff. They have hundreds and hundreds of free. They also have a name your own price, and your own price. Yeah. So say it's up there for $5. You can name your own price as $0, and you have a very high likelihood of it getting accepted.
They tell you to fuck off. No.
That'd be pretty funny if they just like hit you back and were like, bro, you're a broke ass
You
bitch.
just
Get
get
on my
this
face.
in a message.
Dude, I'm gonna clip this and I'm gonna save you doing that and I'm gonna make that like a tip donut or like a dono thing.
Can this be my new emote? I still have an emote slot left. Here we go.
Which I gotta find out if so Kirby resubscribed to me right at the beginning of the podcast, which is why I had to restart
Yeah.
because it played the sound, and I don't know if it played through the stream, but I shouldn't have active streamer alerts.
Right.
Because I don't have anything set up through here. So I don't understand how it went off.
I don't think I saw anything over there because I saw the subscription come up on chat, but
Exactly.
I don't think I saw anything.
So I'm using OBS Studio, so it's not going to have anything for like a notification pop up on screen, but I have sound alerts
Yeah.
linked to it, and I heard the sound, and I was just like, "What?"
I can't confirm on the sound. I have the tab muted because like I would be bouncing it back.
Yeah, you don't want to deal with that.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, so I've been running away randomly in the fucking middle of the podcast,
which is fine.
The dog needed to go out, and then I left him out for like way longer than he likes, and he was like trying to beat the door down. So yeah, I did give a run back and let him. I'm like, ah! I don't know what this is. This is kind of new news, kind of not. I think we talked about this. I don't know what I'm gonna do when we have 2 dogs in this house.
Yeah, I was waiting for that. I was waiting for you to be like, so I know you haven't gotten your new dog yet, right?
No.
Ooh. Look at that! Look at that snag!
Hold your mic.
Look at that snag!
Throwing your mic around,
dude. It's just I gotta tighten that down.
Twist, tighten down,
dude. Well,
yeah, so
it's
so
fucking, this thing's heavy, man.
Yeah. So this weekend I go pick the dog out. So Saturday morning I gotta drive down to Florida and pick him out, and then in like 3 weeks after that I go pick him up, which I think this is the most stupid thing I've ever seen. Why do I have to go pick the dog out and not get to take him home? And then go back again and take him home. It really aggravates me. I'm like, this is 2 trips when I could do this in 1 if they just were like, yeah, come pick a dog and take it. Like, I can wait 3 more weeks. It's okay.
Yeah, right. They're like, no, but we'll sell it before then. What's up, Tom, Kevin?
Yeah.
So I decided to look something up.
Okay.
It's kind of ridiculous.
All right.
So this states, if you leave Earth at age of 15 in a spaceship at the speed of light and spend 5 years in space at the speed of light, when you get back on Earth, you will be 20 years old, but all of your friends who were 15 when you left will be 65 at the time.
Yeah, space is weird. Space is so weird.
That's creepy.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, yeah, what's up, dudes? I'm 20 years old. Well, we're fucking on AARP benefits and we've retired.
Yeah, it's like we already lived life.
Oh, dude, that makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, there's a lot of weird space stuff that doesn't make sense at all, like that. But yeah, someone much smarter than me has figured that out.
So, a couple more random fun facts. Elvis Presley got a C in his 8th grade music class.
That's okay. What in the world? Okay.
Zuckerberg made Facebook blue because he's red-green colorblind.
So, can confirm robots are red-green colorblind.
Yep.
Have you ever like seen him in an interview or something? He's not human. There's nothing human about him.
No, he's very awkward.
Like he had those Senate trials, and it looked like they just like sat a doll there. Like, here,
he was just silicone. He's like,
like, he was just 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 and then he would just talk with like like straight monotone. You're like, what the fuck is wrong
Yeah,
with this
it
guy?
was the wax figurine of him.
Yeah.
Only 2 people know the Coca-Cola recipe, and they're not allowed to travel on the same plane.
Hmm.
So that if you lose one of them,
Yeah. Yeah.
there's an online map that shows you where to go if you need to survive a zombie apocalypse. We need to find that immediately.
I know where I'm going during the zombie apocalypse.
Where's that?
Just where I grew up in my home, because it's like a little like I have like an arsenal at my house where I grew up, so like I'll be fine.
I'm getting that address for me before we leave.
Great.
A doctor intentionally overdosed himself on cocaine just to write down the last minute experience of the drug before death. That guy's a psychopath.
There's something wrong with him. There's
and-
a dude. There. Speaking of that, there's a guy. There's this scientist. He has tried like every drug, not like he microdosed every drug, and has like found benefits to all these drugs.
Of course.
It's wild.
I'm sure that pretty much every drug has some sort of a small benefit to it.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's never done in moderation.
If you don't want teeth, do math. You know, benefits like that.
And this one is going to change the way I view this movie for the rest of my life. All the characters in the movie Toy Story blink one eye at a time.
I don't know if I've ever. I can't ever watch Toy Story again.
Can
Never again, because I'll notice that.
Can
notice
never
that.
fucking watch
Fuck
it again,
yeah.
dude. Like I said, it
Fuck
just
yeah.
ruined the way that I'm ever gonna view this thing.
Yeah.
Oh man, why did I do this to myself?
Yeah. Thank you for that. I really appreciate you
You're
ruining
welcome.
my life.
Kid, I'm glad that I could I'm glad I could do that for you.
Yeah. Thank you. That was great.
Oh, this wasn't open at all. That's awkward. Yikes.
Sup, little beach?
Man, life's a beach and you're here, Dad.
I had to play that. But kid, I think that's gonna be it.
All right.
That's
Let's
a
wrap her up.
That's a solid episode.
That was good. That was really good.
I enjoyed it.
Yes. I'm ready. We hit a little rough patch here. But not to worry, listeners, not to worry, chat. We will be back stronger than ever with guests that will be here and be entertaining for your listening and viewing pleasure.
Yeah, I can honestly say that a lot of it had to do with the fact that like the nicer weather started to roll around. So like people would be like, "Yeah, I'm in," and then all of a sudden it's 75 and sunny, and they're like, "Yeah, I think I've been cooped up long enough over the last year that I need to get some sun." So
yeah, there's a lot more freedom to go out and about and do your own thing. The town I used to live in, I just lifted their mask mandate, so like we're like back up and running,
dude,
So
yeah, we're starting to get there. New Hampshire right above us just got rid of the mask restrictions.
Yeah,
so that's pretty sick. Everything's starting to go back to
We're
normal, and
on the up and up. All is not lost.
but I will, and we will have more guests more often than not, as long as something dramatic doesn't happen.
Absolutely. And if not, I'll just belly dance for an hour and you guys can watch it or something.
Which, guys, I'm gonna link the Twitter account, and I want you guys, if you're listening, to DM questions that you would like us to answer live on air. We'll do like a live segment. Like once we have enough questions, we'll do it. So
we can do like a monthly thing, and
exactly.
Then if it picks up from there, we will adjust accordingly.
Bingo. So, guys, start sending them in. You can send them to either myself, Blurry, or the main account that we have on Twitter, or anywhere you guys can find us. Honestly, we might even probably do it live as well with the Twitch chat. So we appreciate everyone for hanging out. I know that's at least on my end. I think Blurry said that you guys all smell funny and should never come back. But look, I can't speak for him.
This channel, go to my channel, and then I'll tell you how bad you smell.
Well, kid, I'm glad we were able to do this. I missed you. I hope everything
man, it's-
stays being good for you though.
It's been busy, but we've kept in touch. It's how we do it.
Dude.
We're like, you're live? Yep. Okay, cool.
Yep. Hey, by the way, I'm live. Yep. Oh, you're live too? Okay. Let me pop in.
Hey, why don't you pull a tab up for me while you're not working?
Are you going to be live after this?
No. I
Okay.
am going to work on YouTube content because not only have I been crappy in the podcast world, I've been crappy in the YouTube world.
I've been crappy in the all-around world. So, yeah.
I recorded 9 hours of Tarkov content off stream. Just, I was looking for good content. I had 0 audio for 9 hours of fucking content.
No.
So I'm gonna go work on that.
Yikes.
I
That's,
love Windows
that's
updates.
fucking brutal.
Hey, Windows, fuck yourself.
Oh, man. Dude, that eats balls. Shirt size extra large or large?
Go large. Yeah.
All right, so I'm gonna send you an XL because they go down like a partial size right after. So I don't know if you can fit into like a.
Are you calling me fat?
You make fun of me because of how small I am all the time. Which, by the way, your boy's up to 180 now. So
I couldn't get the joke in, but he was like, "I can print anything that's flat." And I was like, "Bruno, we can print on you."
I hate you. Just kidding. No, I'll send you if you're 100%. So they're cotton. They're already pre-shrunk, but obviously with pre-shrunk cotton shirts, you still get a little bit of down on that.
Yeah.
But if you want a large, I'll send you a large, and then I think I still have your address. If not,
whichever one you think. I mean, even if it's an XL, I'm not gonna not wear it. It'll fit.
That's what I'm. So like this, you could probably get.
Medium.
I think this is a
Medium.
large, and it's
Medium.
perfect now.
It's a small medium, a medium.
Kidding. You're goodbye, everyone. We'll talk to you guys later. No, I'm just kidding. But we seriously, thank you for rocking with us again. Dude, we'll be back live next week.
I have one more thing. You can cut this out. I went to my home that I grew up in. Look what I found.
Kid, read off your. Do you have Pokemon in there right now?
I have Zelda in there right now.
Okay, I was gonna say read off your starting 5.
And then I haven't played Pokemon in so long I couldn't even. But I was like, all right, moment of truth. I put double A's in it because that's the thing that powered our childhood.
Yeah.
And hang on, let me see if I can get it. I turned it on.
I want the sound. I need the sound. I heard it. It made my heart.
Yeah.
What's that other game you got sitting there? What's that other game?
All right, so I got Super Mario Brothers Deluxe.
Oh.
Yeah. And then a little known game, but fun game. Border Zone. Snowboard game.
Okay.
Yeah.
I had not to get too long-winded on this, but I remember one of my first
Link's Awakening,
dude. I wonder how much that's worth. Like realistically.
I don't care. I'm honestly going to probably buy Ruby and what is it, Crystal? Am I right?
And Sapphire, yeah, Ruby, Crystal, Sapphire, I think were like the 3 that came out for that.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get Crystal and Ruby. I played Ruby, I never played Crystal.
Dude,
but, I mean, like,
so if you want, we can talk about this more off air. There's a video game place in my town, like a mile and a half down the road, where like that's where we get Allie's N64 stuff and like Super Nintendo and all that stuff. So, well, that's what I'm saying. So whatever you want, let me know and we'll work something out, because it'll probably be cheaper through them potentially, unless you want to get like a remake version of it where it's someone who like made the game themselves.
Yeah, I don't want that. Give me the original.
That's what I'm
I have to do surgery on this one. So I played Zelda for like, I don't know, an hour. Got a new game. I'm like playing. Saved, turned it off, came back to it the next day, turned it on, nothing saved. And I was like, it's not working right. And there's a battery inside of this thing. that helps it save.
There's a battery inside the cartridge too.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do surgery on it.
You have to let me know how it
Probably.
goes. I have 2 Game Boys, and I got her the remake version of the Pikachu edition Game Boy.
Yeah, this is the OG. Like, this was my original Game Boy.
I have my Pikachu edition, OG edition.
It has the stickers still on it and everything. Like, you can definitely tell I played it. I was fucking holding on to it. Like,
Gorilla gripping that shit.
yeah, but I was so excited, and I found my fucking what's the other one? A DS? On my
Yep,
DS.
The DS.
I don't have the charging cord, so I gotta buy one.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to have more stories about you whooping some ass in Zelda coming up.
Yes. Once I fix it. Fucking
Well-
save it. I was like, I can do a playthrough.
Dude,
God, nope.
I turned on my Pikachu's edition yellow Pokemon game, and I was like playing through, and like it got to the starting screen, and like that's when like the first image of like Pikachu starts running, and the game was just like, and it like just keeps shutting off every time you get there. It's like the battery inside the actual cartridge is just too weak because I just beat the fucking brakes off of it.
Bro, I remember that game, and I think that was probably one of the more. I played that game more than any of the other Pokemon games.
Do you want me to leave you with the saddest thing ever?
Yes, ruined my life.
I ruined my life with that game. So like the whole cool thing is that Pikachu follows you around, right?
Right.
You have a little fucking buddy hanging out with you on the long journeys throughout, the Vermilion Forest, through the Ghost Town, Lavender.
Mhm.
I had Pikachu in my PC. And I was trying to clear a box.
Oh no!
And I accidentally released him.
Ah!
The one thing the game gave you, I was just like,
Pain!
it's like, just get out of here. And so like the thing that I didn't realize is I clicked release and it was like, you hear Pikachu yell.
Yeah.
And at the time,
He broke the game.
he was the
that's why-
first. He was the first Pokemon that I released in any game ever.
This is why the game doesn't work anymore, is because you broke it when you
It's like, you
released
fucking
him.
monster.
He's like, ah! And then the game just crashes.
And I fucking released him, even though he's like yelling at me, like, "Are you sure you want to do this?" And I was like, "Yes, it's just it's a level 20 Pikachu. What the fuck do I need it for?" And they were like, "Are you sure you want to release your best friend?" And I'd already hit yes. And I was like, "Oh no!" And I like showed him like walk away, all sad. And I was just like,
Fuck!
I tried to shut it off, but it saved automatically.
Do you still play Pokemon Go?
No,
I do.
I caught my. I can't say where he was from, but I just met with a very important official inside of the business that I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
And while I was doing work for them, I looked at one of the 3 phones that he had plugged in charging, and on one of them was Pokemon Go, and this man is 65 years old.
I love it. Like, so I got a new phone this week as well. And with this phone, it will run Pokemon Go without it being open. So I can have my Charmander walking around with me, just picking up candy. And I'm like,
I didn't even know that shit still existed.
fuck my battery life. I'm getting some Charmander candy.
Oh, dude, that's pretty funny though. I might get it back and use it while I'm at work, considering I
And
walk.
that's the problem, is I do it at work. And like, I'm like,
Yep.
man, this is so fun.
Well, look, we'll be in touch over the next couple days and stuff like that. But dude,
Yep.
I hope you have a great weekend, man.
Look for the podcast shirt on the stream. And yeah, that's what I've got. I got a busy weekend coming up. Won't be live. Bruno won't be live either. Probably not.
Probably not. No, I get a lot of shit this weekend.
Yeah, but follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and don't forget about the YouTube channels as well.
Yes.
We'll have new content coming out on all of them. And if you need those, look in the details below. They'll all be there for you.
Yep. As well as links for if you guys want Rush podcast merch, hit us up. You know where to find us. We got some shirts. We have sizes small, medium, large, and XL. Feel free to ask.
And hit up Matt, guys. He's a good guy. He sponsors the podcast now. Hit him up. See what he can do for your rebranding, your logo, even a t-shirt you want. Buy fucking 50 of them. Do it. Go hit him up. Go hit him up. Give him some business.
For sure. Guys, we'll chat with you next week. Adios.